In. Chow. Meditate. And down. Gang! Okay, go ahead, shake everything out. All right, so warm up. We're starting class, so as warm up, go ahead and turn your head in a circle. Reverse. Up and down. Look side to side. Shoulders forward. Shoulders back. Arms forward. And the arms up and back. Cross in front. Okay, put your hands on your hips. Rotate your hips in a circle. Reverse. Okay, everybody get in a left cat stance. Rotate on the ball of your foot. Reverse. Raise up into kicking stance. Rotate your lower leg. Okay, do some 10 knee raises. Hold it. And down. Shake everything out. Okay, opposite leg, so get into a right cat stance. Rotate on the ball of your foot. Okay, reverse. Okay, now go to right kicking stance. Rotate your lower leg. Reverse. Now do 10 knee raises. Hold it. And down. Shake everything out. All right, now let's get down. Ready for a set of push-ups, okay? So remember, when we're doing push-ups, keep your body in a straight line. Don't lift your hips up. So everybody get down on my count. Okay. Down. 1. Down. 2. Down. 3. Down. 4. Down. 5. Down. 6. Down. 7. Down. Bend your elbows. 8. Down. 9. And down. Bend your elbows. 10. 2 more. Down. 11. Down. 12. All right, so everybody get back up. Shake everything out. And now we're going to do punches. So everybody get in a rectangular stance, okay? Remember what we talked about, how to make a fist. The first 4 fingers, you curl them real tightly into the crease in your palm. Clench your fingers tightly, then cross your thumb over your first 2 fingers. So you're hitting with these first 2 knuckles. Okay, so everybody put out your left punch. We're in rectangular stance. Now, what I want you to do when we're going to do slow punches, remember to keep your elbows into your sides, okay? You don't want to put your elbows out to the sides because you're going to be punching. That is too circular. Punch should be in a straight line, okay? So everybody put your left punch out on the hut. Count of 3, okay? Hut! 1, 2, 3. Remember to keep your elbows at your sides. Hut! 1, 2, 3. Hut! 1, 2, 3. Remember, you don't want your elbows to flare out. Keep your elbows in at your sides. Okay, count of 2. Hey! 1, 2. Hey! 1, 2. And as you're doing these punches, think about touching your ribs with the insides of your arms. Hey! So keep your elbows in, touch your ribs with the insides of your arms. Hey! Count of 2, 1, 2. Hey! 1, 2. And now to a count of 1. Remember, keep the elbows in. Hey! 1. Hey! 1. Hey! Okay, 2 per count. Hey! 2. Hey! 1, 2. Hey! 2. I'm going to keep those elbows in. Hey! 2. Hey! 2. And key eye on the last one. Hey! Hey! One more. Hey! Hey! Okay, good. Shake everything out. Okay, now we're going to do our kicks. So the 2 basic kicks, first 2 basic kicks we learned, right, are the front snap kick and the front thrust kick. We've talked about that the last couple of classes we've had. So remember, with your front thrust kick, you open the gate, come up to kicking stance. When you kick, you're pulling your toes back and hitting with your heel, right? So that's front thrust kick. Okay, front snap kick, open the gate, come up to kicking stance, snap your foot out, and you're hitting, I'm going to back up so you can see it. You're hitting with the ball of your foot, right? So remember those differences. So let's everybody get in a right forward stance. Okay, hands up in guard. Now on the hut, front snap kick, remember you're opening the gate first, coming up into kicking stance, okay? You're kicking out, back, then back down. Okay, so just think about that, the 5 steps. And let's start about belt level. Hey! 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 Okay, all right, take a few breaths. Now we're going to try to kick a little bit higher. We were kicking at belt level. If you can kick a little bit higher, maybe stomach or even chest level, if you can do that, let's do the same thing. So a little bit higher, front snap kick. Hey! All right, looking good. Hey! Yeah, I'm seeing some high kicks there, good. Hey! Hey! Okay, good. Shake everything out. All right, now change stances. So everybody get in a right forward stance. Okay, same thing. Rear leg front snap kick, starting off just a belt, not level. Okay? Hey! 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 So come up through center line, kick right at belt level. Hey! Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, a little bit higher. Kick stomach level, chest level if you can. Okay? On the hut, rear leg, front snap. Hey! Hey! Looking good. Hey! Hey! Up, kick, back, down. One more. Hey! Okay, let's take everything out. Okay, so same thing. We are going to do the thrust kick the same way. So front thrust kick, start off in a left forward stance, hands up in guard. We'll do a few ones to warm up and then try to do a few thrust kicks a little bit higher. Okay, so this time, start with your front thrust kick at about knee level, right? So just think about getting that knee up, pushing forward and downward with your heel. Okay, so front thrust kick. Hey! 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 And now, same thing, front thrust kick, right leg, you're in a left forward stance. So try to get it a little bit higher. Try to kick up to belt knot level if you can. Okay, so front thrust kick. Hey! 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 Keep your hands up in guard, looking good. One more. Hey! And now change stances. Same thing, we're gonna be in a right forward stance. I'm trying to get to where everybody can see my feet here. Okay, right forward stance, rear leg front thrust kick. So you'll be kicking with your left leg, okay? And same thing, the first few ones, we're gonna do the thrust kick to about knee level, okay? On the hut. Good, shake everything out. Take a couple of breaths. First breathing, you can do that in through your nose. A second breathing is from the ground. Okay, so last series of kicks. I'm gonna do the last few front thrust kicks. Right forward stance, we're kicking with rear leg, which is left. So this time we were doing it to knee level. This time, try to get your thrust kick to belt knot level, okay? On the hut. Hey! 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 Okay, now, one thing I'm noticing, and this is good, and you should be noticing that you're leaning back a little bit as you kick out. That means that you're putting your hips into it, which is the key to this technique. Okay, a couple more. Hey! One more, Ki. Pretend like you're kicking down a door. Hey! Okay, great. Check everything out. What time is it?
It is, let's see.
Okay, so we're going to bow out now for 1 minute. Okay, we'll bow out, take a 1 minute water break, and we'll see you back here in 1 minute. Okay? Water break. Okay. All right, folks. Let's get back here, making sure that I'm here and you can see my feet. Okay. So our water break's over. So let's get back to work. We'll go ahead and bow back in. Okay. Great. So let's shake everything out. All right, now what we're going to do is talk about your series of blocks. Okay, so as part of the curriculum that you have to learn, and when you demonstrate your knowledge on a test, there's a series of blocks that we have. And I want to talk today about the first 5 of those blocks, right? So the first 5, you start with the lower block, okay? Inner middle block, the second block, rising block is the third. Okay, the fourth is outer block, and the 5th block is a knife hand block. Okay, those are the first 5 that you have to learn as you start progressing up through, I believe that's 2 purple stripe or purple belt. But anyway, let's talk about how to do those blocks. So if you're on a test, the order in which you do each of those blocks, one after the other, is left, right, right, left. Okay, so it's left, right, right, left is the sequence that we're going to be doing each block. And I want to talk a little bit about the loads and how to transition from one block to the other so that when you do the entire series, it looks smooth. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get in the rectangular stance, everybody. Get a rectangular stance. So remember, the 5 blocks we're going to do are lower, middle, rising, outer block, knife hand block. Okay, and Lucy, I see you're already loaded up for the lower block. So good, that's what we're going to do now. So I'm going to start with the lower block, load, my left hand goes here, right hand goes here. Just work along with me. Okay, so lower block, so left, okay, left hand goes out here, right hand goes up by my ear, right, okay, load for another right, block, then right goes here, left comes up for the load, and then left. Okay, now, so that's the lower block. Middle, when I'm transitioning to my middle block, this hand goes here, right? Because that's the hand I'm blocking with, left hand. So left hand, right hand goes on top, okay, left, okay, right middle block, okay, this hand goes here to load, right middle block again, left hand goes here on the bottom, left. Okay, so again, it's left, right, right, left. All right, now going to rising block. So this hand is out here, right? I've done my, my last left middle block. This hand goes here. This arm goes on top. So I'm going to be doing my rising block. Okay, so let's do that. So left, okay, load, right. Okay, we're going to do another right block. So load right. This hand goes here for the last one, left rising block. Okay, so we've done lower, middle, rising. The next block from here is outer block. Okay, so how we transition from rising to outer block, I just put my left hand here, right by the side of my head. Okay, right arm goes out here. This is the load for an outer block. Okay, so I'm going to do left, right, right, left again. Okay, so left, outer block. Now, this arm straightens out, right hand goes by my ear, okay? Right, now I've got a load for another right outer block. And then for the last one, my right arm goes straight, left arm goes up by my head, left, okay? Now, the last series we're going to talk about is the knife hand block. So you've just done your outer blocks, right? So you're in this position because you've just done your left outer block. All you need to do to transition to the knife hand block is open your hand, okay? Think about a knife, flicking open. So here, this left hand opens, goes by my ear, right arm goes out here. This is the load for a knife hand block, right? So it's left, okay, this arm goes out here, right hand goes by my ear, right block, load for another right one, okay? Now for the last one, right arm goes out here in front, left hand goes up to my ear, and the left block. Has everybody got that? Okay, so we're gonna go through that series once more. Once more, okay? So get started with your load for your left lower block. Okay, on the HUD, left, right, right, left, okay? Now remember, middle block, load for your left middle block, left, okay? Right, right, left. And now remember, rising block is next. So left hand goes right here. Okay, load for your left rising block, left, right, right. This arm goes out here, left. And now remember, next block is what? Outer block. So your left hand just moves down right towards your head. Right hand goes out here, almost like you're doing a punch. So left outer block, straighten this arm, load with your right hand, right outer block. Get that load again. Right outer block, this hand straightens, left goes up by your ear, left outer block. And remember, keep your left hand where it is. Open up your knife hand. Now you load for your knife hand block, which is the last series, okay? Left, okay, load again for a left block. Okay, so left, then here, right. Okay, load again for right, and then left. Okay, so again, those are the first 5 blocks in the series, and you need to practice it so that you can do it again, left, right, right, left. And first 5, again, lower block, middle block, rising block, outer block, and then knife hand block, okay? All right, so I think we've got about 8 minutes left. So I want to talk about a variation of kata. All of y'all know kata 1, correct? Can you raise your hand if you know kata 1? Yeah, I think y'all all know kata 1. So what we're going to talk about is a way to do kata 1 where you do not need this much space, right? And this gets into part of philosophy that I want to talk about. The Kagyu Code of Ethics are 8 lists of principles or 8 sections that state how we believe we should practice Kagyu and how we should live our lives, right? So the last Code of Ethics, number 8, says self-confidence, self-control, modesty, and a non-defeatist attitude are mental keynotes for students of Kagyu. I want to focus on that last part, the non-defeatist attitude. We're all going through a difficult place in our lives right now, you know, but part of being a martial artist is you don't give up, right? If there's adversity or you have a setback or a disappointment in your life, you don't give up. You accept the situation for what it is, do the best you can, and move on. That's what we mean by a non-defeatist attitude, right? So how that relates to this kata is I want to show you a way to do kata 1 where you don't have to have a dojo with this kind of space to move around. I think the first time I heard about this, I call it hotel kata, hotel room kata, because you can do it in a hotel room. And Master Alan Haas, who used to be the head of the school for many years and recently retired, showed us this many years ago. So when you think about kata 1, you're stepping forward, right? So the first couple of directions of kata 1, there's the lower block, the punch, right? Lower block and punch. And then when you're doing that and you're moving up and down the eye, that's a lot of moving around. So the idea behind hotel kata is all that you do is one leg stays completely in place, right? Let's say our left leg. You never move your left leg. All you do is move your right leg. So let's go ahead and work through the first few directions of that, right? So everybody, let's go ahead and get ready for kata. We're going to bow in, okay? All right, so let's bow in. Ciao. Okay, so my first move is opening to the left. And it's not mirror image, so you'll have to do your own left. But rather than stepping forward, the first thing I do is turn to the left, load for a left lower block, and step backwards, right? So everybody try that. Okay, on the hut. Hey! Step backwards with your right leg, lower block. Yeah, that's it. Now remember, this leg is going to stay in place. So you move forward with your right leg and punch. Okay, now left leg stays where it is. Again, I'm turning to my right, so loading right lower block. Okay, now the next movement is I'm supposed to step forward with my left and punch, right? But remember, the left foot stays in place. So rather than going forward, what we're doing is retreating, okay? So those are the first 2 directions of the hotel room kata. So we're already about in. So we're going to start again from the beginning. So opening to the left, you turn to the left, load for a left lower block, step back. Okay, everybody do that with me? Now step forward, punch. Okay, now your back leg stays where it is. Right leg turns, lower block. Now, rather than stepping forward, you step backward and punch, right? So step backward. Yeah, that's it. You see good. Okay, so the next movement is I'm turning to the left, going up the eye. But remember, my left leg stays in place. So rather than moving my forward leg, I'm moving my back leg, stepping back and block. Okay, now we got 3 punches, right? Punch, punch, punch. So how we do those, remember, front leg stays in place. So move forward, punch. Okay. Move backward, punch. And move forward. See that? So we've done that whole direction with the back leg staying in place. Okay. So let's go over the first, that's the first 3 directions of hotel kata. So let's go over that again, and I think we're going to need to bow out after that because we're unfortunately running short. So we're already bowed in. Okay, natural stance. All right, first direction is right leg moves, load for a left lower block, stepping backwards. Okay, stepping forward, punch. Okay, now the next turn is just like you normally would do it. Your back leg stays in place. Okay, move here, cat stance, block. Now this is how, remember, the back leg stays in place, so we retreat and punch. Okay, there you go. All right, now same thing, we're keeping the front leg in place, loading, stepping backward, and lower block. Okay, now we do our 3 punches. Step forward, and the next one is retreating, right? Retreat, punch. You step forward, punch. Okay, so those are the first 3 directions of the hotel room kata. Looks like we're just about out of time, so we've got to wrap up. Again, I thank you to my partner in crime, as you say, Sensei Maceo, for the technical support. We're still working and tweaking how we teach these online classes. So any feedback is appreciated. And again, the philosophy we talked about, that the self-control, self-confidence, modesty, and a non-defeatist attitude. And again, we're focusing on that last part today in our discussion, non-defeatist attitude. Of course, this isn't perfect. We're really looking forward to when things will get back to normal at some point, and we can all meet and train again together. But this is a way to maintain and a way to train and keep up that non-defeatist attitude, even though we're having some difficult circumstances. So thank you to everybody for joining in. We'll go ahead and bow out here. We're going to meditate first, natural stance. So meditate and then bow out. Now, yeah, let's bow out. Ciao. Good. Thank you, everybody.